Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Unplanned Adventure. If you're watching, if you're watching for the first time, um, or catching the replay, I appreciate you being here. Tonight, we're breaking down the snow and the trails for the northern tip of the Mitten and the eastern Upper Peninsula. What's rideable, what's improving, and where you still need to use the little caution. This time of year can be tricky. Lake effect snow, grooming schedules, and overnight temperature swings can make conditions change fast. One area might be coming together nicely, while another just a few miles away is still thin and icy. So the goal tonight is simple: to give you a realistic picture of what's out there, so you can. Sorry about that. So you can plan smarter, ride safer, and know what to expect before you unload. Let's start with northern lower Michigan. Then we'll work our way up to the northern or the eastern UP. So the northern Michigan, big picture overall, snow coverage across the northern tip of the Mitten is decent for the early season, especially in the higher terrain, especially established trail systems. Lake effect snow has been patchy, which means some areas have a good amount of snow while others are still thinner. Roads and trails can drift when wind pickup happens, so conditions can change quickly over short distances. Right now in Indian River, there's about 7 inches of snow on the ground, giving you a workable early season base. There hasn't been much new snow in the last 24 hours, but several inches have fallen over the past few days, helping maintain coverage. Season to date snowfall is still around 20 inches, and late snow showers are expected to continue with small accumulations over the next couple of days. Around Petoskey, winter is firmly in place. Temperatures are in the low 20s with cloudy skies and periodic snow showers. Accumulations have been light, generally less than an inch at a time, but consistent cold air is helping preserve the snowpack. Northwest winds off the Lake Michigan can bring blowing snow and reduce visibility, so expect changing conditions depending on exposure. Around Sheboygan, we're seeing classic early winter conditions. Snow showers are moving up through there with 1 to 3 inches possible in spots, and winds can be gusty at times, leading to drifting and blowing snow. There is a measurable snow cover on the ground, enough to support trails where grooming was packed things down, but conditions can vary depending on winds and locations. Around the Gaylord area, there continues to be one of the stronger snow spots. There's around a foot of snow on the ground, giving a solid base for trails. Light snow showers continue, and while others aren't major storms in the forecast, while there isn't major storms in the forecast, the steady winter pattern is keeping conditions in good shape. Lake effect snow is adding to the snow inches at this time. Around Mackinac City, it is sitting around 7 inches of snow with small additions over the past several days. Snow showers are likely on and off with occasional blowing snow due to wind. Accumulations remain light, but the base is improving, especially where the trails are groomed. So now we get to the UP, St. Ignace. Up in St. Ignace, snow depth is stronger with about 13 inches on the ground. Snow showers continue. Lake effect bands may add additional accumulation over time. Conditions are variable depending on the wind and the band placement, but overall there's a solid early season base for trails and back roads. Up in Sault Ste. Marie, we're going to go all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie. We have one of our first trail reports. It was one of the only ones I saw out there. Let me get that for you so you guys can see, because they're having some really good stuff up there. Sault Ste. Marie. So earlier, the groomers, Pete J, and the person that put this out there from the Sioux up to the Trout Lake, checked the conditions firsthand. After last week's thaw, rain, and refreeze, and fresh snow, things are really in really good shape. That thaw actually helped set up a solid base with new snow on top, has made some excellent riding. Their crew was out with the Chippewa Snow Chasers, which is out of the Strong's area. Has the trails looking great heading into the December 21st. You will find some thin and icy corners, so ride smart in the turns. But overall, conditions are looking very good. Every rider we talked to today said the same across the area. We also got some great shots from Brimley this morning on the parts of Trail 480 north of Michigan 28 or M28, the Rayco Powerline section of Trail 8, and the 889 loop. Fresh snow over that solid base is really showing well. There's plenty of snow on the back roads and 2 tracks for those asking. All right, so that's good. One final note, Trail 480 is still under construction, so it hasn't been groomed yet. That work should wrap up in a few weeks and is currently the only trail on our system that is not groomed. So that's the only thing out there. Looks like there's pretty good snow everywhere. I got a couple of pictures from different places. This is up here this was Sault Ste. Marie, these pictures that you're seeing right now. And let's see. Petoskey didn't post anything, but they did have their breakfast this morning, and if you missed it, this is what you missed. So according to their website, they're going to have that every Sunday. So as of right now, I say it's going to happen next week, but with it being a holiday weekend, I'll let you know. I'll let you know Friday when I go ahead and do another show on Friday night if I see anything different. As far as Paradise had some good. I'm getting the same pictures here. Some of these are the Sault Ste. Marie. Oh nope, these are the Petoskey pictures. I mean, I'm sorry, these are the Paradise pictures. What is going on there? Yeah, it looks like a few of them bled in. The one right there, and the one with the sled just looking out in the distance. That's the trails right there in Paradise. So they got up there, rode around. There was some pretty good snow falling, so that looks good. Other things out there, we got some good news. We got some really good news here. Let's see. Brian got the trail cam back up so we can see the current conditions right there, just above Gaylord. Between Wolverine and Gaylord, you got the snow cam here. Trails look actually pretty good. So the railroad bed held up pretty good. I think I looked at this right when he got it back up. It almost looked like the groomer had gone through. I don't know 100%, but you know, everything's looking positive. And then let's go down here and look at. All right, let me go up here. And then I pull up the Antrim. They're of course they have a webcam. You can go out to see it at their website, and the link is in the description of the broadcast, so you can go out there and check that out. And looks like they've got some decent snow over there. So overall, not too bad. There was another. Oh yeah, and there was a new group that I'd found. They had not posted for a while, and they just posted, or they popped up today, and it looked like they were going to. Let me get this up here. Yeah, it was a group out of Paradise, so they started. All right, hold on one second, guys. See if anybody else has posted. Probably not since I got on here. It's called the Town Hall Snowmobile Club, Paradise, Michigan. I had not seen these guys here. They had not posted before. Today was their first time I saw them. Looks like they posted again on the 19th. But they had popped up on my feed, so I added them. So that was, and they have plenty of pictures. It looks like it's really nice up where they were at. They were up by the Wheelhouse Diner, and the Goat Locker Saloon. So I have to look that one up. I've never seen that place before, but all their trail pics looked really good. It looked like they had a lot of fresh snow coming in. So. And by the looks of some of their pictures, they were riding in a lot of fresh snow. So that's great. Again, it's early in the season, and there's snow, and even with the reports that I was putting out there, they're claiming 13 inches of snow in some places. So that's really good, and that's going to shape up for a really nice base. Yeah, can't seem to complain there too much. I should have asked when I was doing my weather report stuff. I should have asked what it's gonna be like probably in a couple weeks here, because it's going back and forth, and getting discouraging because I'm trying to plan my snowmobile activity, and one minute it looks like it's going to be a meltdown, and the next minute it looks like it's actually going to shape up and be okay. So it's really all over the place, and it makes it really tough for me to plan since I'm coming from such a long distance away. I don't want to buy a plane ticket and then go up there and just kind of mow grass. I guess is almost what would happen at this point. So let's see here. I'd already given you kind of a weather report, but I'm looking at it again, and they're calling for snow showers pretty much on and off every day until the 4th. That's as far as I've got this set for right now, a 10-day forecast. And again, it's calling for snow showers, and it's going to be the highest I see in that 10-day forecast is 34, with an average. It looks to me more along the lines of mid 20s, because you get some down in the teens, and the nighttime temperatures, not one of them is close to. There's a 27 degree. That's as close as you get to 30. So the nighttime temperatures are definitely dropping. Let's see if I can open up this monthly. Let's see what's going to happen over the next, because that's what I was looking at a couple days ago, and it dropped, and it went from 30s and 40s, and then it showed again. So it's hit or miss. So I'm looking. Let's see. Let's go back in here and look at. Let's look at January and see. Let's see what they're calling for here. Oh, it's not pulling it up. All right, here we go. So it looks like the first. Yeah, so I'm all the way out. I've got a whole month of temperatures, and they can fluctuate quite a bit. But you're sometimes you're pretty safe if you're looking out there, somewhere around the 20-day mark. And right now, the temperatures that they were calling for earlier around Indian River were going to be in the 30s. Now it looks like the temperatures are going to be in the 20s, mid 20s, and it looks like they're calling for snow all the time. So that's good. That's really good, because the all the those temperatures fluctuate and a little bit of meltdown. If it keeps adding snow, that base is going to hold that stuff in there, especially if it froze underneath it. So that's really good. So we might be looking, might be promising there. Huh. But as far as I went out and did a bunch of searches just to see what people are doing out there, and I'm starting to get a couple more in here. So it showed one for. See, the problem is I have to look at these, because some of them I'm getting a lot of groups that are. Yeah, this guy's in Canada. So then I see the snow there, and I get all excited and find out, well, that's Canada, and they're out there. And they've got plenty of snow north of that border, looking really good. Sault Ste. Marie posted the 32nd annual ISA ride-in, January 20th, 21st, 22nd. Bay Mills Resort and Casino. They have a poker run, scavenger hunt, and what words challenge. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Indiana Snowmobile Association. So I guess they're gonna have theirs up in Brimley, Michigan. So if you want to go check that out in January, you can run up there and check that out. Indiana has their own. Indiana Snowmobilers has their own association site. I did not know that. I got to save that. Go check that out later. Now, the really cool thing, but this is uh, they're way up there. Gogabek or Gogabik. I hope I'm saying that right. They're putting uh, stuff out there right now. I don't know if I can save this. I can't save this video. Um, I got to find a way to get this stuff because they're showing the groomer up there, and he's just plowing through because they've got so much snow. He's just plowing through and grooming a trail, and it looks amazing. So that's so if you get a chance to get all the way up there, that's something to check out. And then of course, man, I got to go back in here in a second because I could have swore I saw. Yeah, so of course somebody has to go on there and comment about how he's doing it. Yeah, so kind of funny. Somebody gets on there and wants to comment about how the guy's doing, but he's doing a good job. So, and it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, so I don't see anything else in here. Huh. Roscoe Higgins Trail Cruisers. Man, this is let me pull up this picture real quick. Um, this is I've only had a couple times where I've been able to ride in something like this, and it's a lot of fun. Let's see here. All right. Let's pull this image in here. Oh, I haven't saved it yet. Let's save to. Almost there. Almost there. Fix that. That looks terrible. So this is let's add myself in here. Put myself over here so it looks like I'm actually looking at the picture. All right, so this is pretty nice. It's always a lot of fun when you can ride through something like that. That snow will be, plowing over top of the snowmobile, over top of the windshield, and like I said, that's always a lot of fun to ride through something like that. And that's in Roscoe Higgins Trail Cruisers and ORV and Snowmobile Club. And I'll probably find out that this is like it's not always easy to figure out where these people are from. It's not one that I've joined before. Huh. Then Eastern UP snowmobilers, they put a shout out to Paradise, and they're out there riding, and it looks like the trails were groomed, and then they immediately got like another 6 to 8 inches of snow dropped right on top of it. So it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty nice. Um, let's go back in here. Huh. It's not very fast. I guess very slow here. Seriously. There. Yeah, check it out. That's paradise right there. Um, looks like they got to go out there and ride some fresh trails, and then there's plenty of snow that dropped on top of it. So that's that's pretty nice little ride there. Yeah, Pine Stump just picked. They just put a video out here. Like I said, I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to do anything with those, but I'll figure it out once I figure out how to get some of the videos. Because I wish I could just post the browser up here, but unfortunately, when I do that, it wants me to log in and do a bunch of crazy stuff. So nothing happens there. But that snow looks really good. So overall, it really looks like everything. They had the meltdown. It looks like everything came back. So and some of the people were even saying it's even better now because the ice it kind of formed up and made a pretty solid base, and now they got fresh snow on top of that base. So that's great. Let's, let's see. The good news is unless I'm missing a report, I have not seen anything on here. Nobody's reporting any major accidents or anything, so that's great. Um, Somebody was posting 23 hours ago in Sault Ste. Marie, and it looks like they had some seriously strong winds. So it must have got real brutal up there. But strong winds with some snow. And I had a picture. I don't know what I did with it. A group of somebody came up upon a somebody stuck in a car. So I know it stinks. People get on these trails, but when they type something in their GPS, sometimes it takes them that way. I've seen cars on the trail, and it's obvious when you run into the person that they had no idea where they were going and why they got there, and didn't want to be there to begin with, and it just happens. Um, my initial thing is I get mad. I'm thinking, what a moron! You're driving on the groomed snowmobile trail. You're messing it up. There's no reason for you to be back here, and then you get up there and you find out they have no idea where they're even at and how they got here. They put it in their GPS and it told them to go this way, and it probably didn't, but they keep turning and going in certain directions, and then yes, then the GPS will adjust and say, "Hey, you got to go this way." Um, oh wow! So here's some. Let me get these pictures here because this is the kind of stuff that I preach about. I preach about these groups going out and doing all this work, and you just wouldn't believe some of the stuff that they have to contend with. And last year they had a really bad, you know, real bad snowstorm. I mean, ice storm. So quite a few areas of the state were knocked out, and trails. I mean, the trails were covered, and there's not a whole lot you could do about it. Um, whoops. Yeah, so not a whole lot you could do about it. I mean, these guys were out here fighting this stuff last year, but hold on one second. So there's one that's still stuck in there, and then, like I said, joining these groomers or joining these groups really helps out because this is the kind of stuff that they go out and do. This is and if it wasn't for them, you'd ride up onto this. You wouldn't. You don't. Your entire group would have to turn around, which can be very challenging. but this is a mess. And these guys are out here right now cleaning this up. They're out there making sure that this is ready to go, and the next people that come along don't run into this, and hopefully hopefully they get that taken care of and everything. And but that was posted. Well, that was posted a couple days ago, but that's the kind of stuff I was telling you. It just they get out there and see that, and it's a mess. And these guys are out here. Generally, most clubs try and go out, October-ish, November. But I don't know. Maybe they got miles and miles of stuff up there. Maybe they just didn't even. Nobody even reported this. You can tell it's not used very often. Most ATV areas, you'd come up on this, and if ATVs had gone through there, they'd cut at least enough for them to get through. But ATVs aren't worried about groomers, so that's no fault to them. I wish they would cut the stuff a little wider, but they're not worried about groomers or anything else. All they're worried about is enough for their four wheeler to get through, or their side by side. They're not thinking about that stuff. They're not thinking about that a big groomer has to go through there, because they're not worried about that. So that kind of stuff escapes them. Like I said, I'm not blaming them or anything. It just happens. Let's see here. This is kind of where's Bessemer? Bessemer, Michigan. Bessemer, Michigan is reporting the Trails North Power Sports LLC is reporting that they had plenty of snow, lake effect snow, and this person's out here riding in some pretty nice stuff right now. So if anybody has anything they want to put in the chat, let me know. If you got anything you want me to hit on. But Sunday night I was going to recap. I've already recapped. It took me probably all about 10 minutes because there just wasn't a lot of information out there. I don't know if a lot of people weren't riding. I mean, there's a lot going on. People getting ready for the holiday, and my guess is that there'll be a lot of traveling going on, and a lot of people will be getting up there, and then the trails will get very active over the next week or so, especially the 26th. And if anybody got a snowmobile for Christmas, of course, they're going to want to go check it out. Let me put this, these Bessemer, Michigan. I'll have to look where this is at. I'm not familiar with that. Bessemer, Michigan. Pull this up here. Oh man, not sure anybody would be upset about that, but it covered me up. All right, let's move this down here. Let's take that one off. There we go. Transition, boom. Look at that. So this is what they're looking at in Bessemer, and it looks pretty looks like a lot of fun. Looks like a lot of fun. Let me look up where Bessemer, Michigan is. Okay, so it's up there. It's up in the UP. That's one thing about this whole YouTube channel thing. I am learning all the different places. There's it's crazy how far so these guys are right on the border of Wisconsin, right on the border. So it's just crazy how far over that is. I saw some things that were closer to the what is that? Eagle River. I think Eagle River was one of the places, and then there's a whole area, South Range, and then Portage Lake. And then I saw there's several ghost towns that go up that are up in this area. So I thought that'd be kind of be interesting to go check out someday. I mean, that is you know a long trip even for me. I drive 15, 16 to 20 hours to get to Indian River, Michigan, and then we have been known to trailer our snowmobiles again if need be to the UP. Really, I started doing that a couple years ago because we had a couple years that were bad as far as the snow in Indian River, and we got up there and it wasn't great. So we thought, well, let's trailer them up. Let's go up to the UP and check it out. I'd never really been up there. One of the people that I'd known for a long time, Ty, he said you could go up there with a fan cooled 500 and you could duct tape the throttle and run all the way across the state and never have to worry about it. And I thought, okay, maybe that'd be fun. So went up there, and yes, the trails up there, they're a lot wider than what I was used to in Indian River. So that's kind of nice. You're not really, you don't have to worry as much about oncoming traffic. So you're just up there cruising, and we rode and rode for hours and didn't see anybody sometimes. So it was interesting thinking that all these snowmobiles are up here, but you're not running into them. Now, when you got to Trout Lake or Newberry, even Halbert and around the Strongs area, you would see a little bit more snowmobiles. But when you were doing the Crazy 8 loop up there, you didn't see it. You didn't really see anybody for quite a ways. So you're just riding and riding. It was really nice. And I imagine that the further you get out there, and the further you get away from some of these other areas, I would imagine that out west, same thing. You're just you go out there for miles and miles and don't see anybody. I've heard people going to Seney. They said that's, and I can't remember if we rode all the way out there or not. I know we did the loop we went from Halbert to Newberry, up to Paradise, up to Whitefish Point, and did all of that. But I can't remember if I want to say we made it up to, I don't know. I have to see if I can download the actual map, the snowmobile map. But I know we did that. We did that a few times. We did a really, really big loop, and that was several hours of riding. So it was really nice. And so this place here looks like it'd be a lot of fun. What did I say it was called? Let me get out here and look. Was it Bess? What did I say it was? Bessemer? Or I've already messed it up. All right, let's go back here. And it popped away, and I guess I'll just have to figure it out some other day. But that's all right. It's a Bess something. Nothing else really out there though, as far as that whole area. Sault Ste. Marie around there, not a whole lot going on. North Country Snowmobile Club in the UP. It said, good afternoon, Sledheads. We got out and groomed last night, and covering Trail 13, Trail 101, Trail 137, Trail 12, and Trail 101 to White Pine. So all of that, and again, it looks like they were out there riding in some serious snow. Let's see where this North Country Snowmobile UP, where are you located? That is Ontonagon, Michigan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm sure somebody will watch this and say, nope, you butchered it. So I'm going to pull it up on Google Maps, and let's see where we're at here. It is another one that is way up there. Oh, this is around that area I'd like to go to. It's kind of at the base. So Eagle River and Copper Harbor and all that is like on a peninsula going north, and this is at the base of that. Yeah, I'm curious. Let me see how far that would be. So let's not go from my location. It says it's 19 hours. If I wanted to ride a bicycle, it says it'd take me 5 days. 5 days to get that far? I don't know if I could ride a bicycle for 5 days and get that. That can't be right. Because it says it's 19 hours from my location. It's 1,300 miles. So let's see. Let's go from Indian River. Indian River. It's about 5 hours. Yeah. Which doesn't sound terrible, but when you've already driven, like I said, 16 to 20 hours to get there, that's kind of tough to do when you're limited on days. It's also kind of tough for me to swallow when I've done all that and then I have a place to stay, and it's like, oh, now I'm going to go up here and spend more money at a hotel and everything. It's kind of tough to handle. Well, let's look and see the ticker here. Let's see how many people we've got here. How many subscribers do I have? Trying to get to that 1,000 mark. Last time I checked, I think I was at 750. So let's see what the official count is. It's hard to tell with these because I'll look at it. It'll say a number, and then I'll look in like an hour later, and 5 drop off, and I think that's YouTube finding out how many spam accounts might have joined, and they kick me back off. But it's 752 right now. Well, it's been a long weekend. I finished up my. I should take a video of that. I finished up. I did the Govee lights on the house. They're supposed to be the permanent year-round lights for any occasion. They're pretty nice. I put those up. I went around the front of the house and down one side of the house. We're trying to decide if we're going to basically do the whole thing and use them as party lights in the summer. But they're pretty nice. And they weren't terrible to put up. I have an area on my house where I had to get up on a ladder pretty high, and the only thing that bothered me was the ladder was a little sketchy. So I don't like to climb that stuff when I'm by myself because I want someone around to call 911 if I do fall down. So once I had somebody around, I got up there and knocked it out. That didn't take me much time at all. Hopefully they stick up there. They're stuck up there with 3M tape. You can go crazy. You can get these tracks and everything and buy the tracks, but they cost almost as much, if not more, than the lights themselves. But they will make everything look really nice, and you can paint them and make them the same color as the house. So that's a plus. Cut a lot of firewood. I have a lot more to cut, but I cut a lot of firewood. I played around with my GoPro 360. I played around with my GoPro 360. Let me get up here and use the regular camera here, but there wasn't a lot of time for me to mess around with anything. Usually what I do on a Saturday is I get up and I mess with this a little bit and try and put some stuff in the YouTube. But I just didn't have time. I had a lot of stuff to do, and I messed around with my GoPro a little bit. I'll post some of these videos. I'll put them together. It's really interesting with this 360 camera, and I'll put the link down there if you want to check it out and possibly buy one. But the 360 camera, I set it on a garbage can and was just messing around, and then later on I could get that video and I could do a full 360, so I could see things going on behind the camera. And then I didn't know this until after I'd messed for a while. Then I can actually rotate it and it'll do a 360, look straight up in the air and everything. So that the camera is phenomenal. I'm looking forward to getting it mounted on the tractor when I do the road, and maybe mounting it on. Definitely going to mount it on the snowmobile when I go down the trail. I'm just trying to find the right mount because I guess I could put it on my helmet. Only concern I have is, the way my helmet is, I have one of those, modular helmets. So if I mount it here, it could possibly be hitting that when I go up. I've mounted it on the side, but it kind of, on my old helmet, I had a mount on the side, and it just didn't look right. I do have a new mount where it can go right here, but I'm not 100% sure. I got to see how that's going to work, because I'm afraid I'm going to put that on. I'm going to be constantly, it's going to be in my way. I watched one guy and he had it, and it was literally right in his face. And I was like, what are you watching? The only thing I can think of is this guy's cross-eyed and he's, looking straight into this thing. But I'll have to play around with that and see how that works. And one of the things I'd like to do is just mount it on my handlebar, but I got to get it just high enough so it clears the windshield. I got to get it so it mounts just high enough to clear the windshield and do that 360. And I think that'd be kind of neat. Another guy I watched, he mounted, well, a lot of the car guys mount them. They have a three-point mount, and then they mount it that way. That might work on my snowmobile. I'm not sure, but I'm worried about the suction cups, because it's suction cups and whether or not they'll hold when I do that, and then whether or not, so if I'm able to do that, or should I just mount it on the back of it with I don't know. I'm going to keep looking, hopefully find something, get it mounted, and I just need it mounted up high enough so I can get a nice 360 around as I'm riding. And of course, I'll be posting those pictures and put a link down in there if you find it, you want to get it, check it out. You go right to Amazon, you'll be able to do all that. So again, we've been around here about 43 minutes. I'm going to start winding down, but I do want to cover some other stuff here before I go. Please tell your friends about this YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell down there in the corner if you want to be notified when I go live. That'd be great. You can also hit me up on different social media sites here. I've got the Unplanned Adventure web Facebook page. You can go on there. You can you can follow that. I post a lot of videos on there too. There will eventually be a live stream to both of those, but at this time, I'm only going to stick to doing the YouTube for now, because I'm trying to build this up and get going. I'll start having some guests on here as well, so we can talk about different things, and people can talk about the different conditions in the area. And I'd like to hit all that stuff up too. And I'd like to, as people get some pictures and stuff and take their videos, I'd like to get them to, come on the YouTube channel and on the show, and we'll talk about those different videos and what they were doing and where that was at, and what else you could probably go check out. Let's see here. I was looking to see how many people are on the Indian River snowmobile. All right. Transition here. I got to go here. Get a play-by-play. So Indian River snowmobile and ATV and water sports. There's 1,800 people that belong to that group. That's a group. It's for in and around Indian River, but really it's just a good way to get information. If you're heading up to Michigan, there's a couple different ways you can do this. If you're heading to those areas, you can get on a site like this. You can ask people like, hey, what's going on? You can listen to me. Well, first things first, listen to me on Friday nights at 7:30, and I'll give you kind of a rundown trail report of what's going on, where things are good, where things are bad. Right now, a lot of it's good, so that's great. That makes it easier. And I'll give you rundowns of any trail reports I can get a hold of. The other option is you go to Indian River Snowmobile and ATV and Water Sports. Somebody will probably post on there, myself included. And you might also go on here and look and see. Somebody might tell you, hey, stay away from this area, or come on over here and check this out. It's not a bad little area. It's not a bad little site to get information, and it's pretty easy. Join. It's a group there. You can probably meet somebody to go hang out with, go ride with. They'll also tell you maybe there's a restaurant you're trying to get to, or maybe you just want to find a place. You can ask in the group there, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. Also, you can get on the Inland Lake Snowmobile Club. Inland Lake Snowmobile Club is, if you want to join, go ahead and send a message on there. Jump in there. There's plenty of people that can help you out. I'll help you out. It's $15 a person or $20 for a group. The money goes to a good cause. It goes to a lot of different things as far as the groomers, and they help out in the community. So by all means, join that. They do things throughout the year too. They get together. They have little parties. We don't have anything like the Petoskey Snowmobile Club. We don't have our own little clubhouse, but we do have a summer picnic that's pretty good. We have a little get-togethers throughout the time. They just had a Christmas party a couple weeks ago, so they do things throughout the whole year. And a group of them even get together on Friday nights for the fish fry when they do that at the Eagles, if you're a member there. So by all means, join. It's just a lot of fun, and it gives you a chance, get to know some people in the area and maybe even coordinate some rides. You can also find me on Instagram, the Unplanned Adventure 98, and TikTok, the Unplanned Adventure. So if you want to check those, also Rumble, you can go to Rumble and you can find me there, the Unplanned Adventure. So those are all the different areas you can find me, but YouTube is probably the best one right here. You can hit me up here, and if you need to talk, you can send me a message in chat, or you can leave a comment on one of my posts, and I will definitely get back to you. Other than that, that's all I got for tonight. It's pretty easy. Like I said, things are looking up. The weather looks like it's gonna play friendly for the next couple weeks, and hopefully I'll be heading up there to go check out some stuff and run around and do things. So by all means, I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good week. You have a good Christmas. I won't be on here until Friday night, 7:30. Catch me then. I'll be trying to update you on anything that I could find. And if there's something I'm missing or an area you want me to try and look into some more, please reach out to me, send me a link or send me a message, and I will gladly get back to you. Other than that, I'm Ryan. This has been Unplanned Adventure, and again, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If I don't see you or if I don't hear from you till then.